poppin' green teamers?
What's going on, guys?
We're back at it again. You know who it is. It's your favorite duo, Easy E, Marvelous Marv. You know what we're here for, the Green Teamer Podcast. We try to bring it to you at least once a week.
Trying is the key word.
There we go. We're trying. It's a work in progress. We got our mic set up over here. Well, before I even get into that, make sure you follow us on Instagram, follow us on IG, follow us on YouTube too. We're trying to make waves out there as well, trying to get the YouTube world familiar with who the fuck the Green Teamers are.
Yes, sir.
And what we do, because what we do is it's pretty cool, you know.
It actually is. I think we have a good combination here between the love of sports and the love of marijuana.
And
what could be better than that? So
nothing, absolutely nothing.
So as Marvin was mentioning, if you don't already, definitely follow us on YouTube and for sure follow us on Instagram because we're more active on the daily on Instagram on that page just because you can follow our story and just keep up with us on the daily. So
big facts.
Go ahead and follow us.
Let us know what you think about the podcast so far. We got new mics as well. We debuted them last week on the new edition of the podcast. Had a little technical difficulty in terms of just getting everything in sync and together and having it sound, as neat as possible.
Yeah, as organized. I think is a good way to put it.
Yeah, organized is a better word.
But again, last week was our first weeks of actually having the audio synced with the video footage, so we're still learning, still working out all the kinks, but
right.
It's the quality that matters, and that's what we're trying to put out. So stick with us, and let's get this podcast going.
Let's get it going.
So, guys, this past week we played Let me take a look. We played Philadelphia, Cleveland, and Milwaukee. Our overall record up until this point now is 16-17, so we're actually under 500. But before going into the overall record, let's just take a look at the last 3 games specifically, starting with Philadelphia. What did you think about that Philadelphia game?
I thought that game went as well as it could have gone for the Celtics. We had all our horses, right? We had Jaylen Brown, we had Jason Tatum.
Yes, I think at that point we had, I want to say, most of our bodies, but we didn't have any big bodies because I do remember...
No Horford.
Yeah, I remember that game specifically. Enes Freedom had to cover Joel Embiid for the majority of the game.
Yeah, he's getting mixed.
And that game showed exactly how good Joel Embiid can be if you don't have someone who can... Guard him and stop him.
Yeah, that mid-range, like 10, 15-foot pull-up, it's automatic for Embiid. Like, he can't miss that shot.
I think there was even one point where he just did a fadeaway, almost like a prayer type shot at the end of the game, and it went in. And to be honest, at that point, I was like, that's just how the game is going. But I think it was a close game, and we were actually leading at one point.
At one point, we were. What were the final numbers on that game?
Let me take a quick look. But keeping the ball rolling before we take a look at the final score in the Philadelphia game, what did you think about that Cleveland game? That Cleveland game was actually a win for us, and I think it was a pretty convincing win.
It was a pretty convincing win. Don't sleep on the Cleveland Cavaliers either. They've been a fairly surprising team so far this year. They sit third in the East right now.
Do they actually?
Yeah, third or fourth, which is really good compared to us.
Yeah,
like their records, they're plus 500, so I can't complain. They played pretty well. The thing about Cleveland is they play big. So from 1 through 5. If they're going to match up against your players on any given night, they're going to out-height most of your players. Like their 3, 4, and 5s all are 6'8", 6'9", and taller.
Right, and the Celtics, I think, as we saw with the Joel Embiid situation, is once our 2, 3 bigger guys, once they go down, we're a small ball team.
We are,
and even at that, Al Horford at the center isn't your...
Al Horford, he plays small for a center.
Right, exactly. I was going to say that's not your traditional center. That's still your small ball center. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's a center that can shoot the 3, which is great. Maybe he may not be shooting that well at the moment, but just having that option of having a center that you can rely to at least make a couple threes.
It's important.
It's important. But again, Al Horford is still considered small for his position. So exactly what can happen when you don't have someone who can guard Embiid happened.
Right.
But the game I wanted to talk about most between the three that we mentioned was the Bucks, and that was the most recent game that we had. That was, what was it? Saturday. Oh wow, that was Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
I already wanted to forget about it that quickly because. Give me your thoughts, because I'm speechless.
Oh, disclaimer again. We did play undermanned. Then again, half the entire league is playing undermanned, so I'm not using it as an excuse. We came into the game, and we looked a lot better than anyone else gave us hope for or credit for.
Yeah.
We got through the fourth quarter, which is what's pissing me off. It's not like we got to two quarters, we got to halftime in the third quarter. Bucks just, completely put their foot on the gas, and it was like, all right, now it's a wash now. We hung in there till the fourth quarter. You had 5 minutes, 4 more minutes to go. 3 more minutes to go. I think there was 2 minutes left. We were still up 5. At that 2-minute mark, as a professional, anything, basketball, football, whatever, as a professional team, if you can't hold on to a 5-point lead, doesn't matter who you are, if you can't hold on to a 5-point lead to close the game, there are serious issues on the floor.
Absolutely. And I think you were alluding to this, but the Celtics were definitely short-handed or short-manned.
Yes.
But like you're saying, if you're a professional athlete, the situation I'm about to describe is a long shot, but if this was Game 7 and we were in this exact situation, you can't tell me that being gassed is an excuse.
No.
If this is Game 7 of the NBA Finals, you can't tell me as a professional athlete that your excuse for losing like that is that you were gassed.
Tired legs or whatever. No, you can't. You can't.
So that's why I just don't buy the short man excuse, especially because, like you said, we literally had the lead through the first 3 quarters. Going into the fourth, I think we only had a 4-point lead.
The Bucks never led until Giannis hit that and one.
Mm-hmm. And I think what we also have to think about is the players' mentality, is that we crumbled, but at the same time, we expected this. Like,
right.
The Bucks, on the law of averages, the Bucks were not going to continue shooting that bad like they did in the first half.
And we weren't going to continue
through the entire game. So we knew this was coming.
Right.
Like, a run was coming. Their shots were finally going to start falling. We knew it was coming, and we did not step up to it. Like I said, going into the fourth, we were only up by 4. But I want to say within the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, we actually stretched it back to like 12 or 13.
We did.
And I think that's when you were what you're talking about with like 5 minutes to go. We were up by something, right? 13 was it?
Yeah, we were up by a good 12, 13 points in the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, with the same 4 or 5 minutes to go,
we were up double digits. I know that.
Yeah.
So again, I think at this point, all the Celtics talk about trades and this person is doing this to the team, so it's hurting us, or this guy isn't doing enough of this. All that does not matter when at this point, I think the true problem is up here. Is that mentality, it's that will to win, it's that how bad do you want it, and we don't want it. I don't care what anybody says.
We don't want it as bad as these other teams do. We really
not
don't.
as bad as the championship team wants it.
No.
Like, there are reasons winning an NBA championship, or just, a sports championship in general, is very hard to do. Mm-hmm. And it takes certain character to lead your team. And I think that's what our issue is, because I think Jason Tatum, within the last 2 weeks, came out and was like, I'm not the Kevin Garnett type leader where I'm vocal, I'm in your face, I'm in everybody's face, and you know who I am. If you get what I'm trying to say. He's not a Kevin Garnett type leader. He's
Did you get that?
A different type, whatever. I guess a quieter type. I don't know what kind of leader that would.
Now,
entail.
Are you getting this from the Knucklehead podcast?
I believe,
from a couple of weeks back.
It could be. I actually just got it from a headline.
Okay, but I did hear something along the lines of what you're alluding to, and that does speak for itself. If you watch Tatum's demeanor on the court, if you watch how he plays, he's not the type of player whose game uplifts other players. His game is great for him. When he's on, he's on.
Well, to go off of that point is when he's on, I agree, he's completely on. But I think when he's on, he actually does make other people better.
You think so?
I think so. Do I think that's his go-to? No. Like you were saying, he has his game and it benefits him. So I think he can make other people better, but I don't think he's our facilitator. I don't think he necessarily... He can be and he should be, but I don't think with his skill set, he should actually be the guy to cut and make the plays. I think we kind of have to give him the ball when we need a basket, and it's like, all right, do your thing.
Right, and he understands that too. I think he much rather, he more so sways towards I'm your guy for offense. Like when you need a bucket, I'm your guy. Find me, I'll get you guys what you need.
Which brings me to this point, because it's a point I wanted to bring up when we talk about the overall record. So just to reiterate, right now the Celtics are 16-17, which is under 500. Trash. Especially to be this far in the season. We haven't actually made a step up or an actual step down. So I think it's actually, like, if we didn't make the playoffs, we wouldn't get that valuable of a pick. You know what I'm trying to say? Or if we made the playoffs and left and exited in the first round, we're not getting a good draft pick. So no, it's not like...
We set it like 21 or 22.
Yeah, so it's not like we're at the bottom where we're not necessarily tanking, but we're getting a top 5 pick, you know, where that could potentially help us. So we're just stuck in the middle. We're not winning championships, and we're not getting the number 1 draft pick. So we're just kind of in purgatory, just floating there.
In a weird way, it's the worst kind of place to be in, because you do well enough to where you sell tickets and you expect a not even a deep playoff run, just a run in the playoffs. But you don't expect a deep playoff run. So you're almost sort of dancing with mediocrity and just playing to the expectations of, all right, at least if we make it to the playoffs, our fans will be fine.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel like that's where we're heading with the Celtics. And the last couple of years, I've heard the constant, continuous notion or the idea that, well, this was when Danny Ainge was also GM, the constant notion that wait till next year, Danny's going to make a move. Wait till next year, Danny's going to make a move.
Yeah. Which is actually exactly how we came into this season. It's like, let's just get through this season and wait till next season to sign a third star.
And it's like, how many times are we going to keep on fucking doing that? The year before that, when the Bradley Beal talks even started, it was, all right, well, we're a 7 seed. We're playing Brooklyn in the playoffs. You know it's going to be a wash anyways. Let's just get through it, and then next offseason we'll make some moves, blah, blah, blah. Offseason comes in, and we don't make any moves besides get Danny Ainge out. So, as far as the way I'm seeing it, we didn't make any moves last year.
Right. Well, granted, I think the moves we made in the offseason actually did set us up for this coming offseason, just in the sense of...
Dumping Kemba?
Dumping some contracts and aligning some contracts. And just being able to move a little bit more freely in the free agency and just trade market.
Okay.
But bringing us back to the point that I originally wanted to make about us being 16-17... Are we panicking? Are we staying steady? Or are we making a trade? And by panic, I mean, are we just giving up on the season rather than making a trade to try and boost the season?
I would like to see a trade happen this season. Well, first, to answer your question, I think we should be in panic mode. It's only December. I think we should be in panic mode just based off of the trajectory the last 2 seasons.
Yep.
We should panic a little bit. We should look towards or look into making trades, look into making moves that would send a couple of your players out, because I love Pritchard. I like Pritchard. I like Pritchard. I think him and Hernan Gomez should be able to get some burn on our squad.
Oh, you can't tell me Hernan Gomez deserves some playing time after last game. He was awful against the Bucks. That was ridiculous. There were so many times where I'm holding my hands to my head and just being like, "What are you doing?"
I think he has an offensive game that we can use. He can stretch out the floor, all that kind of stuff.
Definitely, I think we can benefit from him because he stretches the floor, but he just has to hit that three, which he hasn't consistently been able to do. And I think that's the problem is we have to have guys who consistently hit a shot.
Yeah.
But that just sends us down a whole another rabbit hole of consistency and whatnot.
Right.
But I said it like 2 weeks ago, and I'll say it again. I don't think we necessarily need a trade unless we're getting better. We shouldn't do a trade just to shake the boat, just to get rid of Marcus Smart, to get some fresh faces in, if who we trade Marcus Smart for doesn't make us a championship contender, or at least closer to it, bringing us closer to the gap between Milwaukee and Brooklyn. But let me ask you this, or not ask you this, but let me bring this up to you because you made this point.
Okay.
I made the point that I think we should trade for someone who should be our primary ball handler and kind of set up the whole play for everybody, a playmaker.
Yeah.
And you said we need someone who can score, and you brought up Damien Lillard. And now that, some time has passed since we had that conversation and now we're here, I may be on board with getting Damien Lillard and saying he's our primary ball handler and playmaker, and he can also be a scorer.
Right.
So he's kind of a combination of what you and I both think we need, but I'm still on the bandwagon that we can't give up too much because he is old and he's on a huge contract. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but with me saying that, please tell me.
I was going to say,
tell me your thoughts.
Actually, I'm with you on the whole idea that we need a playmaker more so than a scorer, because Kemba Walker was more of a scoring first point guard. Kyrie was more of a scorer first point guard. So I'm with you on the fact that we needed a facilitator, which is why I think if we were the ones who signed Lonzo Ball during the offseason, that would have been a huge pickup for the Celtics, because he's the guy we need. Somebody who is a great defender. Lonzo plays great defense. And on top of that, he is the most selfless player.
I think he's one of the last, if not maybe the last, true point guard in the NBA in today's day and age.
Like, he's trying to find you open. Like, bro, get open, I'll find you.
And the good thing about Lonzo is he wouldn't have wanted... He doesn't really necessarily care how many points he scores.
No, he doesn't.
So we could turn our attention to making that third superstar a scorer.
A scorer, right.
Exactly.
Now you have 4 stars. Lonzo can be your main facilitator. You have a main facilitator, and then you have 3 scorers. So Marcus Smart, you get your shine. Jaylen Brown, you get your minute. Jason Tatum,
you get your points.
Yeah. Everybody gets fed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas when somebody like Schroeder, who's also looking to get his buckets, trying to facilitate the ball, it's like, all right, so maybe this time I'll give it to Tatum, and 2 more possessions later, I'll find you, Brown, if you open. It's a little different. The dynamic's a little different. Ricky Rubio would have been a nice addition, too.
For sure, especially how he's playing in Cleveland this season. I think he's actually having a career year, or at least over the past couple seasons. This is his best season in a couple seasons. Sorry, that was choppy.
He's having a great season this year.
Yeah, for sure.
So we definitely needed a pass-first point guard.
Yeah, and this is the type of trade that I'm saying, like, we don't need... This is a trade that would definitely make us better. If we got a facilitator and a scorer, those are the types of trades that I don't mind losing Marcus Smart if we get the right type of guy, and that actually brings that
to where we need to be.
Yeah, brings us closer to the other levels of competition.
Okay, so if it doesn't mean championship,
then I don't think it's worth a shake-up. Like I said, just to shake it up.
I was gonna go somewhere with that.
Well, let me bring this somewhere else real quick. Just because we're talking about trades and shaking up the team a little bit. What do you think about these 10-day contracts? Who did we just sign? I know we signed Joe Johnson late last week, but I think we just signed somebody.
Al Farouk Aminu.
Oh, that's who it was.
Yeah.
So they're just old faces that.
Wily vets.
Yeah. So what's your impression on that? Do you think we should just keep them? Should we keep them for the playoff run and that veteran presence, or are we just signing these guys so we have the minimum to actually play the game?
I think we're just signing him just so we have the minimum to make it through these games. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to say because I think we should keep with Joe Johnson. I think we should Joe Johnson. I ain't gonna even add anymore. I think we should keep Joe Johnson at least. If you're
Shout out ISO Joe because that was against the Cavs on Friday, right?
Yeah, the only 25 seconds the dude plays, he gets himself a bucket.
That was nasty. Nasty. Shout out ISO Joe.
It's not even that it's the way he got the bucket. Mm-hmm. Like it was just literally like a 1-on-4 type of sequence. Like, yeah. He can, if he really wanted to dribble, the dude can still play. If he wanted to play, he can really play.
Yeah, I don't think he's giving us, 25 minutes a night.
No,
but he can definitely. You can't tell me he's not going to contribute more than Hernan Gomez.
Absolutely.
So
if you put him in spurts,
he could have played half the minutes Hernan Gomez did on Christmas Day.
Been more productive,
and possibly have been more. Not even possibly. I truly believe he would have been more productive.
I believe that. Mm-hmm. And now I don't know, Joe Johnson, you said it's a 10-day contract, so technically he's still in the squad. Mm-hmm. But out of all the 10-day contracts that we have picked up, I would definitely keep Joe Johnson, keep him as the 12th man on the roster. Mm-hmm. Our problem is when we're healthy, we have a lot of nice pieces. But those pieces don't equate to winning a championship when they just stay on this one team. Mm-hmm. If you have Peyton Pritchard on the Brooklyn Nets, they could use a Peyton Pritchard bad. Like that, a Peyton Pritchard brings the Nets to that championship contention that they're looking for.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
A Peyton Pritchard on the Celtics.
Heard that here first.
A Peyton Pritchard on the Celtics is nice, but it's not what the Celtics necessarily need at the moment. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. It's one of those things where I don't want to trade them. I don't want to give them up. But at the same time, I don't want to sit here and have this be the season we're going through for the rest of the season.
I hear you.
Because it's going to equate to a 6th seed, another 7th seed, and another first-round exit in the playoffs. And if that's the case, that's perfectly fine. But let me know that's what you're going to do so I can choose whether or not which games I want to watch and which games I want to just...
Yeah, absolutely. Because after that Christmas Day game, man, this is just getting old and tiring.
It is.
And it's hard to...
It is.
I make it a point to... I could say I probably watch 80% of the Celtics games throughout the season. I make it a point to be at home and watching the game when they start.
It's part of your night. It's part of your schedule.
Yeah.
Your routine.
To commit to the Celtics and for them to do that to me on Christmas Day, man, it's getting hard to watch them. It's really like, do I really want to sit there through this?
Right. If that's I'll still watch, but let me know which game so I can pick and choose. Yeah. Like, if this is where we're going, like.
Yeah, I feel you 100%.
It's a commitment on all parts. Mm-hmm. All parts.
But with that being said, let's just fast forward here a little bit. Let's talk about the upcoming week. Our next game is Monday night against Minnesota, and we're actually going to be filming on Thursday again, or maybe Friday. So we'll go up until that point. So this week we're playing Minnesota on Monday, the LA Clippers on Wednesday, and the Phoenix Suns on Friday. What are your thoughts?
So we have a game tonight.
Yep, against Minnesota.
Wednesday
against LA, and Friday against Phoenix.
I'm looking forward to that Phoenix game.
Some revenge?
Out of the three, yeah. That Phoenix game. Phoenix has been hot lately. I'm expecting another loss, just based off how we've been playing.
Mm-hmm. You think Minnesota's just our easier win?
Minnesota, I think the Clippers will be our win.
They beat us last time around, and I think
it was a close one, though.
Was it?
It was.
Okay.
We lost by a couple. I think we lost by like 4 points. It was close last game. I think Minnesota will be that team to sort of sneak up on us. Anthony Edwards, he's been playing really good lately.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I don't remember the last time I watched the Timberwolves game, so it'll be exciting.
Maybe back when Kevin Garnett was on the Timberwolves.
Right. That us.
But all right, so you're predicting a 1-2 week, win against Minnesota, a loss against Minnesota, win against LA, and a loss against Phoenix.
Yes. I think that Phoenix game, Phoenix is a machine right now. The way they're running, like they understand what they have to do.
Yeah, for sure. I think they only have like 6 losses. They actually just lost to the Warriors on Christmas Day as well, but that's the Warriors.
Didn't the Warriors? Oh yeah, no, they lost to the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Otto Porter. Yeah, Otto Porter was shout out to Otto Porter. He was doing his thing for the last couple of minutes. I thought he was dead.
But I'm gonna go with a 2-1 week. I also agree. I think we're gonna lose to Phoenix. They're just a top team right now, a top tier team, and something that we're not. So I think they'll just beat us. They're a better team, and I think we'll beat Minnesota, and I think we'll come back for some revenge and beat LA. I think they're not gonna be convincing wins. I don't think it's gonna be
Beat LA.
a blowout or it's not like we're gonna look like the Golden State Warriors out there is what I'm trying to say. We're gonna get some nitty-gritty wins. We're gonna come out with the win, but nothing too exciting. Just still floating in that 500 realm. So 2-1 week for me.
Do we have any games on Sunday?
We have a game after the Friday game against Phoenix. We have a Sunday game against Orlando, which I think we'll end up winning because
I was gonna say if we to finish the entire week, I think we'll be 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with 3-1.
Okay.
But again, I don't think that 3-1 it's not gonna look as pretty as it sounds.
No, I won't because our record's still gonna look kind of shady.
Yeah.
I feel that.
So 3-1 for me, 2-2 for Marvin. We'll come back next week and review that. Hopefully, as always, hopefully I'm correct just because it's 3 wins and 1 loss. But again, it's not going to be as pretty as it sounds.
Let us know if the Celtics have been boring you lately.
As much as they've been hurting us.
Yeah.
So leave us a comment. Give us your thoughts on the Celtics. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Happy New Year's, motherfuckers.
Peace.